what happens when you're the old man and the staff.
We've been talking to a lot of the defensive players, and they'll kind of say, "Hey, last year was good, but just not good enough for us." Have you seen that, heard it in the meeting rooms, kind of seen it on the practice field, that there's a little bit of a, "Hey, we need to get that edge back"?
Exactly. The bar and the standard here is high, and kids understand that when they come here, they're coming here with a purpose. They want to win championships, and so when you don't get to what you really want, you got to come back and you got to fix it. And Coach Sweeney does a great job in making sure our players understand that the plays that they've made previously are not going to do anything or have a reflection of what they do this year. So these guys are hungry. They want to win. They're loving to compete. Guys are really going after it. The young kids have really come in and have some leadership qualities, and it's very pleasing to see that. Guys getting after it in practice.
Was the hunger not there as much as it should have been, just looking back, you said,
I think the hunger was there, but it was one of those things where we were very inconsistent, and it's now guys are realizing when coaches were stressing the detail, the small things, they understand like, whoa, okay, that's the difference between a touchdown and a pass breakup, or a missed block could mean a big play, and so guys realize, hey, they see it, they're more mature, and so now it's time for them to turn the page and get better.
Malcolm was a guy that we didn't see much last year just because of injuries. Just how do you feel like he's done so far this spring, and where is he?
I mean, Malcolm is back to Malcolm his freshman year. He's healthy. He has that light in his eye. He's that pace car. He's that guy that's going to bring a lot of excitement to practice, and you see it. He made a couple plays the other day, and he was letting the world know he made the play. And that's Malcolm. Great kid, great energy. I'm happy and excited that he's finally healthy. It'll be good to go out there and watch him play.
It seemed like last year a lot of picks were right there that slipped through the fingers. How do you remedy that?
Well, in practice, you got to throw the ball more. You got to, hey, if they're not catching the ball in the game, then, well, we got to throw more in practice and get them to the point where they're relaxed and not tense when the ball comes. It's not like they mean to miss it. It's like they get there and they're like, the ball's right there and they panic. But that one of the ways you do that is now you got to go consistently do hand and eye coordination drills, strengthening the hands, and catching more footballs.
How good is it to have Sheridan Jones back?
Great. I mean, it's good to have all those guys back. To have a guy with starting experience. He's seen a lot of things. So things won't be very new to him because he's seen it all. He's been through the fire. And so it's promising because now some of the young guys can have that mentor, that leader that they can follow.
what does the next step for Nate look like to you?
Next step is to take over a game, to come in physically stronger, to be that guy that can totally shut down one side of the field.
How close is he to being that right now?
He's got some work to do, he ain't there yet. He's got, like I said, but I like his presence. I like what he's doing. He's incorporated a lot of other things in his tool belt, which I stress to my guys. So now that when other teams are trying to diagnose him and understand what he's doing, he's going to keep them on their toes.
Dabo has said a few times that the pass defense has to be better this year. That's just a huge emphasis. Do you feel like your guys are kind of taking that as a personal challenge and kind of taking that head on?
I mean, I don't know if we're taking it personal because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we signed up for, So, it's something that I stress all the time. So, in my eyes, I don't want the offense to catch any passes. So it's always been something that's always been hammered on them from day one. They're DBs. They have the mentality that I'm not giving up anything. That's what I wanted. That's the mentality I have, and that's the mentality they have.
Have you ever seen a year like last year where you had to deal with someone? You're going in against had a year where it's kind of been that difficult at times?
Yeah, I mean, every day's difficult, really, because like I said, my position is very different than everybody else's. We make a mistake and it's seen worldwide. It's ESPN top 10, you know. So for me, I mean, every day's difficult. You never know what you're going to get. That's what I talk about. Sometimes these kids are like a bag of Skittles. You get a red one, you get a green one, you get a yellow one. That's our way our generation is now. They got a lot of things they got to deal with. So as a coach, you gotta wear a lot of hats. So no, I wasn't surprised. Every day's hard.
What have you seen out of Jaden Lucas so far? Where do you feel like he can grow this season?
I see. I mean, if you look at him, he's what you want in the DB. As far as size, speed, length, athleticism. He's turning the page. He's learning the defense. A lot of times, those freshmen don't know what they don't know. In high school, they just play man coverage. Here, you're going to play a lot. You're going to play various coverages, various defenses. You're going to be playing man, zone, different techniques. So for him, he's trying to settle in a little bit and learn the defense a little bit more to the in and outs where he can do everything we ask him to do at a high level.
I guess what does it say about him that he needed shoulder surgery and he decided to put that off a little bit? So
The kid's a tough kid. Tough kid. He doesn't say much. He just goes to work, puts a hard hat on, and goes to work. You like that, because this, he's going to give it all he's got, and at the end of the day, man, that's what you want as a coach, because if your coach is all in, the other players are all in, and he's all in. He'll want to be that guy sitting on the sideline. He wants to play.
Do you anticipate Malcolm playing more corner than nickel?
Yes. Right now, we'll see. But he's playing a lot more nickel because he hasn't played a lot of nickel. Corner. Sorry about that. He's played a lot of nickel in previous years, and so we're giving him a shot to play corner, and see what he can do.
Do you feel good about your depth at nickel too? Is that part of the reason you moved him up there?
I wouldn't say we feel good with our depth at nickel. We have a bunch of guys. We're trying to find out the perfect fit. So we're cross-training guys in various positions to see if they can handle it. And we already know that Malcolm can handle the nickel. We want to go and see what he can do at corner.
I guess Toriano's a guy who got a lot of experience kind of in the fire.
Yeah.
What do you feel like he learned from that?
Coach is not a liar, because a lot of these kids, you tell them that they may play or they'll have the opportunity to play as a freshman, and that's recruiting talk. But the way I tell these kids is, look, man, I'm not wasting my time to come recruit you if I don't want you to play. All right? I could die tomorrow. I want to see you play today. All right? I don't want my wife to say, hey, you spent all that time recruiting that kid. He's not a player. So, that's one of those things I tell my kids. Hey, if you come to work every day, you do what you're supposed to do, your names are not on any list, and you compete, then you'll play. And for him, we had some injuries, and heck, he had to play more than I thought he would. And he like I said, he stepped up to the challenge. And it was good for him. So now this year, I don't have to worry about him having that freshman jitter anymore. He's ready to go.
How do you evaluate how your guys held up, like on perimeter stuff, point of attack, getting off block, making tackles last year?
It's never good enough for me. My uncle always tells me he feels sorry for the players that play for me, and because I'm a competitor. I'm a guy that played the position, so everything that I'm teaching them, I've done. And like I said, my mentality is they don't catch any passes. It's never good. It's not good enough. I'm the guy that as Kobe says, I'm chasing perfection. I'm chasing greatness. Because if I chase that, I'm gonna fall amongst the good, and that's what I want. I want these guys to understand that, every day we got to go out and we got to work. We got to work. Because in the end result, when it's time for them to go out in the real world ain't gonna care. It's gonna keep beating them, and they got to stay strong, because if they don't, they'll crumble. So if I do my job here, they'll be ready for that concrete jungle out there when it's time for them to graduate and leave.
With Sheridan and Nate Mack, do you feel like you have two established starters there
It's still, I mean, for me, it's open competition. You know, I mean, I've got to put the best guys out there. You know, I can't play favorites. I can't say because I like this kid. You know, I play him. I love all of them. You know, I want all of them to play. But if they're not deserving to play, I can't put them on the field. You know, I can't, sacrifice the rest of the team because I want to appease some players. They've got to they've got to be ready. You know, they've got to earn it. You know.
Special teams, improvements where you see that you need to make improvements, get better there?
Well, there's a couple games last year we lost because of special teams, and we've got to get better. We've got to get better. We've got to get more consistent. We've got to be in a position where our best players contribute and lead on special teams, and then we got to find a solid kicker. A solid punter. We lost some guys. And so it's an opportunity, open opportunity for these young boys to step up and be the guy that we trust, And that's the good thing about spring practice because you're going to see some guys that are competing, As a group of guys, I mean, I love the competition out there. And if Coach Sweeney had them out there today and they were getting at it, Who's going to be the guy? Is it going to be a walk-on? Is it going to be a scholarship player? Who knows? But everybody's going to have an opportunity.
What have you seen out of Robert? Is anybody pushing him?
Yeah, they're all pushing him. I see a kid who has